A national figure for racial justice visited campus today. Find out how he uses comedy to get his message across.
And local fire department is calling upon Ball State students. We'll tell you how you can get involved.
And severe weather and snow showers are all in the forecast. NewsLink Indiana starts now.
Live from the Ball State News Center, this is NewsLink Indiana in high definition.
Good evening and welcome to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Logan Rivera.
And I'm Jenna Liston. Thanks for joining us. Well, tonight we start out with local news here in Muncie. Muncie police are appealing to the public to come forward with information on a fatal shooting early Sunday. It was Muncie's first homicide of 2017, and NewsLink Indiana's Abby Lutz is in the newsroom with more. Abby?
Yeah, Jenna, Muncie Police Chief Joe Winkle says they interviewed at least 6 people yesterday about the death of 38-year-old Joseph Johnson. They have still been making calls today trying to find people of interest. Johnson was found dead in the street outside his home when officers arrived around 4:30 Sunday morning. Winkle says Johnson was shot several times. Investigators taped off the whole 1500 block of Pershing Drive because shell casings were scattered across a wide area. Police say the ammunition was from a .40 caliber pistol and a .223 caliber rifle. Police found a gun near the victim, but it has yet to be determined whom the weapon belonged to. The police chief says some people probably know more than they're saying.
Got family and relatives that were interviewed, and we would just think that, you know, in this situation, you would want us to help us catch whoever was involved in this. And so far, we haven't got that kind of cooperation, but it's still early.
Police are not sure of the motive behind the shooting. Anyone with information on this case is encouraged to call the Muncie Police Department's Investigation Division at 765-747-4867. In the newsroom, Abby Lutz, NewsLink Indiana. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you very much, Abby. A Muncie woman is now in custody after police say she stabbed her partner in the neck, according to the Star Press. 28-year-old Karania Sims was arrested on Sunday, and her unnamed accuser told police that Sims came home highly intoxicated and said she would, quote, put her in a grave. Muncie police arrived on the scene to find Sims on the floor screaming in pain, according to the Star Press. Both women were taken to Ball Memorial Hospital, and Sims is being held in the Delaware County Jail on a $5,000 bond.
With the shooting over the weekend, the topic of safety at Ball State comes to a forefront once again. NewsLink Indiana's Cameron DeBlasio has the story.
After the city's first homicide of 2017 over the weekend, the people of Muncie are reassessing the overall safety of their city. On Ball State's campus, it isn't necessarily about how this murder impacts students, it's whether students believe something like it could happen on university property. Sophomore Madison Smith says the school does a good job of making students feel safe no matter where they are.
Walking around campus, I always see a blue light here, so if that's ever something that's needed, I know where those resources are that I can use.
Freshman Samantha Robbins is always comfortable walking around campus, but says her parents have a few suggestions for the university.
Well, when my parents were visiting, they said they could use more lights around. They noticed that at night it seems very dark, like in the quad, it's pretty sparse, so just improving lights for those who have to walk from night classes.
Not only does Ball State work to create a safe environment when walking from place to place, residence assistant Kendall Smith says they also work hard to keep the dorms secure.
To ensure safety within the halls, we have swipe access to actually get inside of the hall, and then after midnight, you actually need swipe access to get into the building, and then to where you have to swipe to get inside of the physical residence hall. In between that, we actually do have a night staff, which operates from 12 midnight to I believe 7 a.m. And they'll also swipe you in to get into the building.
In the event that students ever do feel insecure, campus police is always ready to help. Smith says having those officers around is a nice feeling.
With police on campus, I always see them drive through like the main areas of campus. So I think they do a really good job of just making sure that the students are safe.
In Muncie, Cameron DeBlasio, NewsLink, Indiana.
And if students ever feel unsafe or see something suspicious on campus, they're asked to call the Ball State Police Department at 765-285-1111.
The Yorktown Fire Department is looking for Ball State students to become volunteer firefighters. NewsLink Indiana's Esther Bauer has more on how students can get involved.
Yorktown Fire Department has been responding to fire since 1888. While the department is rich in history, they're looking for fresh faces to join their team. Department Chief David Boone says students should get involved to rekindle a fire for community spirit that seems to be dwindling.
The community involvement is starting to die off around the country anyway. So now teaching these young people how important it is to be involved in the community, I think is something that's extremely important.
While community involvement might be on the downfall, residents of Yorktown and some Ball State students were at the most recent call-out meeting. Those who came learned about what it takes to serve as a fireman and why payment comes in a form much more rewarding than a paper paycheck.
The best thing I've ever done. It's given me so much purpose to be here, and it's shown me what I can give back to my community.
While the department is home to firefighters committed to giving back, they haven't achieved their full potential yet.
The Yorktown Fire Department has never reached its goal of having 50 volunteers at a specific point. So now more than ever, they're looking for Ball State students to gear up to give back.
Sophomore finance major DJ Mahler is eager to start the training process and says he wants to volunteer for his own professional and personal growth.
I like the professional experience. That everybody said in the meeting today, that's like a brotherhood. There's 40 other people you can get to know and you come close with and work together on a department.
With more and more employers looking for involvement outside the classroom, serving with the Yorktown Fire Department allows students to get that experience while giving back. In Yorktown, Esther Bauer, NewsLink Indiana.
For more information about how to volunteer, check out the department's Facebook page at Yorktown/Mount Pleasant Fire Department. Well, it looks like Yorktown is certainly keeping the heat on their volunteer fire department. And speaking of heat, it certainly was warm today, wasn't it, Jenna?
Yes, correct. You are right, Logan. And I really hope that this warm weather continues. Cody, can you tell us some good news about this upcoming week?
Well, Jenna, we have a very interesting weather pattern coming up. It does look like our temperatures are going to get cooler, but they should warm up as we go into the later part of the week. Today, our high temperature reached 58 degrees here in Muncie. Our average high for this time of year is 35 degrees, so we are well above average for this time of year, and we even beat our record high of 50 degrees set back in 1963. So it's very warm out there. I hope you guys got out there and enjoyed it. Coming up in my full forecast, guys, I'm going to be talking about when severe weather could return to our forecast, when snow showers will return as well, and when temperatures are expected to drop down into the 20s. I'll have all that coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you so much, Cody. Coming up next, President Trump's travel ban is still up in the air, and find out how a Muncie man is being affected.
And a national activist and comedian visited Pruis in a comedy event tonight. All this and more when we return.
Oh! Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
So I've come up with a family emergency plan.
Great. What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
How will we know what to do?
You won't.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
And me too. Thanks for this, sweetie.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Good evening and welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. A federal appellate court has scheduled oral arguments for tomorrow afternoon in a lawsuit over President Trump's travel ban. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals will hear from lawyers representing the federal government and the states suing the administration. Washington State and Minnesota both filed lawsuits last week saying the ban harmed residents and mandated discrimination. The Trump administration says that it is a matter of national security and was well within his authority. Just last week, a court denied the administration's request to set aside a Seattle judge's ruling that put a nationwide hold on the ban.
And the effects of the executive order can even be felt here in Muncie. Given the highlight on Muslim-majority countries, NewsLink Indiana's Adam Chowdhury visited the Islamic Center of Muncie to find out how people there felt about the ban.
Here at the centre, we spoke to Sami Baktash, a Muncie physician who works at IU Health Ball Memorial Hospital. Born in Syria, one of the countries listed under the ban, Baktash has a sister-in-law who was also on her way to Muncie. However, President Trump's ban scuppered her plans as she was packing her things in preparation for her move to Ball State University.
She got very scared.
Voices. Ball State's campus hosted a special guest who made his voice heard with a twist of comedy. W. Kamau Bell performed tonight at Bruce Hall as a free event to the public. The socio-political comedian has been named the most promising new talent in political comedy in many years. Bell focuses on portrayal of life within a time majorly impacting the race of American culture.
I just hope that they have a different conversation going out than the one they had going in. That's all I hope for. That, you know, it can be that their conversation is, I hated that and I'm going to email the provost that we never bring him back, you know, like whatever. That's fine too. But it's just to change the nature of the conversation. As a comedian, that's probably the most you can go for, is hope for, is make people laugh and also make them on the way out thinking about something they weren't thinking about before. Yeah. And also, hopefully, best case scenario is that people start talking to each other who normally weren't going to talk to each other. That's the best case, but I can't control that. That's for you all to control.
And Bell will be continuing visiting other college campuses throughout the week, including Miami University of Ohio tomorrow night at 7 p.m.
Well, thank you about that, Jenna. The commercials in the Super Bowl last night had a lot of potential for discussion afterwards. NewsLink Indiana's Rachel Russell talked to a few Ball State students to see how they felt about the ads.
Last night, Super Bowl 51 wowed us with an amazing comeback, and Lady Gaga did a little more than just dance. But what about the commercials? Some students felt that the Super Bowl commercials were a bit too political and serious.
Honestly, I'm not really impressed with the Super Bowl commercials. I mean, I tune in really to laugh, to get a chuckle. Hopefully a happy tear comes to my eye, and really none of that happened.
Whereas other students did not seem to mind the commercials' intense messages and actually enjoyed the ads.
I don't really think any of them were super controversial. I know there was a lot about the Lumber 84 commercial that caused a couple arguments, and the Anheuser-Busch one, but I loved the production value behind the Anheuser-Busch one, so I couldn't really hate it.
In Muncie, Rachel Russell, NewsLink, Indiana.
And with the Super Bowl commercials behind us, it'll be interesting to see if the Oscar commercials in a couple of weeks will follow suit.
And coming up in just a few minutes, I'm going to be talking about our current conditions right now. It is 49 degrees here in Muncie. Our winds are coming out of the south at 11 miles per hour. Our dew points are sitting at 47 degrees, so it has been cooling down a little bit out there. Our current temperatures right now are sitting at 49 degrees here in Muncie, 44 degrees in Kokomo, 47 degrees in Indianapolis, so our temperatures are beginning to cool off across much of central Indiana. And over the last 3 hours on radar, you will see we have some showers across much of central Indiana right now. And as we zoom in a little bit closer, you'll see that we have some showers just north of Portland right now, as well as some in and around the Marion and Kokomo areas, and those will continue to work their way off to the north and the east throughout the evening hours. Now, overnight tonight, our temperatures are going to get down to 48 degrees with our winds out of the south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Now, picking up precision cast, you'll see these showers and thunderstorms working their way off to the north, and you'll see that around the 3 or 4 a.m. time frame, we're going to have possibly some thunderstorms around in the early morning hours tomorrow. And as we move on through precision cast, you'll see around the 11 or 12 o'clock time frame, we have another band of showers and thunderstorms redeveloping along that cold front, and they could possibly be severe as we go through the afternoon, which is why the Storm Prediction Center has issued a marginal risk for areas such as Muncie, Marion, and Lafayette. And as we shift our view a little bit off to the east, you'll see that areas such as Newcastle, Richmond, and Connorsville are in a slight risk for severe weather. It looks like the main risks are going to be damaging winds and large hail as we go through the afternoon. And severe weather isn't the only thing that we're going to have to worry about. We could also see some minor flooding in some areas as we have rain totals that range anywhere from about 1/4 of an inch in Terre Haute to as much as 3/4 of an inch of rainfall in Lafayette. So picking up precision cast again, you'll see we have the possibility for some snow showers as much cooler air begins to push into central Indiana, and that is going to allow those snow showers to develop across much of north central Indiana, including Muncie. Right now, it doesn't really look like we're going to see much of an accumulation, maybe around an inch to maybe just over an inch in some locations. So for your 7-day forecast, guys, Tuesday, we're looking at the possibility for some severe weather, snow on Wednesday with our highs only getting up to 34 degrees. By Thursday, our temperatures drop all the way down to 26 degrees. By Friday, our temperatures start to get a little bit warmer, and by the weekend, our temperatures get back into the 50s with rain showers returning. So, guys, it's looking like the pattern's going to be very weird for this time of year, but it's just really unique.
That's awesome, Cody. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm honestly looking forward to that snow.
I honestly think that you're the only one, Logan. I'm sorry, I cannot relate. I really enjoyed this nice weather outside today. I didn't spend much time with it because I was in here, getting ready for the show, but...
Well, I have so many scarves I get to show off, and I love walking to my classes in all that snow.
I'm glad that you're... Amanda, how are you feeling about this?
It was like sunny and 50 today.
Right?
It's not bad.
That's good.
I mean, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't the best.
Logan, we support you no matter what. It's okay. We support you here.
Thank you for that, Jenna.
But yeah.
Amanda, what can you tell us about sports?
Yes, well, Ball State Baseball landed the opportunity to play in a professional ballpark today. And men's basketball is about to play the team with the best home court advantage in the conference. Stick around.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And
can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go.
Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but things changed. Teaching didn't seem that cool anymore, so you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Amazing things are happening in teaching, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Hey everybody, welcome on back into NewsLink, Indiana. Now tomorrow, Ball State's men's basketball team is hitting the road and heading to Akron. And the Zips, they sit at the top of the conference at 9-1. But maybe what's more impressive is they have 27 straight wins at home. Our own Kara Burnett has more on how the Cardinals are looking to snap that streak.
The Ball State men's basketball team will travel to Akron tomorrow to take on the Mid-American Conference leader. I got the chance to catch up with head coach James Whitford and Franco House about what to expect when playing at Akron.
You know, the great challenge with Akron is they have a guy who's probably the player of the year in the conference in the low post, Isaiah Johnson, and they surround him with great three-point shooters. So it's hard to take one thing away. You know, you can try to cover down in the low post, but they got great shooters. You can try to cover the shooters. They got a really good low post. They're very, very balanced in their attack, and that puts a lot of pressure on you.
Yeah, it's a great atmosphere. It's a tough one. It's one you go into, and they got a good fan base, especially with the streak they got right now. So we're expecting a good attendance and a good crowd. We just got to come out and know that the game is a game of runs, and when they make their run, we got to come back and make ours. So.
Tip-off is set for tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Reporting from Worthington Arena, Kara Burnett, NewsLink, Indiana.
Thanks, Kara. Now, while the men's team didn't play this past weekend, the women's hoops team earned its second win in a row. The Cardinals went to Oxford and pretty much dominated Miami, 81-60, making this Ball State's 7th win by double digits in MAC play. Now, with the win, Ball State's record improved to 9-2 in MAC play, and since the Cardinals' home loss to Northern Illinois last Saturday, they responded with 2 emphatic victories. The win in Oxford was preceded by a thrashing at Akron. But now, the Cardinals return home to their nest. Bowling Green comes to town on Wednesday for a rematch of a game BSU dominated in January. But senior guard Jill Morrison knows that doesn't mean her team can lose focus.
Just execution and just making sure we're ready to go, mentally. Like, we got to have a good approach to these games and just every game, just trying to be our best. And every day in practice, just trying to get better and improve on things that we see in film from games prior to the one we're about to play and see if we can't fix stuff.
Now, looking into baseball season, it was already on the schedule that Ball State and IU would play. But today it was announced that they're going to be meeting at a little bit bigger venue. In April, the two teams will play at a neutral site hitting the home of minor league Indianapolis Indians. The game is set for April 23rd. You can purchase tickets right now at MILB.com. And we'll have more from Ball State head coach Rich Maloney tomorrow, and he'll talk a little bit more about how they landed that game at Victory Field.
Awesome. Well, it's so exciting to hear that the Cardinals, for baseball season, they have some great things coming for them.
And we were talking about the nice weather today. It makes everyone think of baseball season being outside.
Of course, for sure.
Snow and baseball season, that's going to be one for the headlines.
It is, for sure, 100%.
Oh, gosh.
A recap of the Super Bowl performances on its way.
Plus, an internationally acclaimed duo performed at Sursa Hall. Your entertainment news is next.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to theshelterpetproject.org and meet a few who are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener who loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to theshelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self, and I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Back to NewsLink, Indiana, I'm Felicia Donaldson with your entertainment news. Lady Gaga jumped right into her Super Bowl halftime show by singing at the top of the NRG Stadium with around 300 drones. The drones first simulated twinkling stars and transitioned into the American flag. From there, she catapulted on stage and sang some of her best hits like Born This Way and Poker Face. The audience waved their brightly lit torches and Gaga's backup dancers pranced on stage. Gaga ended her performance by classically dropping the mic. Sursa Performance Hall opened its doors to the public for a recital by duo Mozart.
So I wanted to share my music with everybody, and that put me in a stage playing concerts. But it's just that passion of share with everybody else something that you like yourself.
Ramirez plans Oregon alongside his wife and pianist, Maria Teresa Sierra. The duo has traveled internationally to share their music. Sierra shared what makes performing alongside her husband so special.
Well, I like that moment when you are on stage and you share music. You have the opportunity to share your music with all these people.
Sursa Performance Hall will be having another concert this Friday. The performance will take place at 5:30 and is free to the public. That's all your entertainment news. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you so much, Felicia, for that entertainment update. Cody, can you give us one more final look at weather this week?
Alrighty, guys, it looks like our temperatures are going to get up into the 60s tomorrow. Unfortunately, those snow showers are going to return for Wednesday with a high of 34, 26 degrees for your high on Thursday, and by the time we get to the weekend, our temperatures are expected to rebound back into the 50s.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Cody, for that weather update. And that's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to watch tomorrow night at 9 p.m. right here on Cardinal Vision.
And be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. From Jenna, myself, and everyone here at NewsLink, have a good night.